Welcome. This is the Barefoot and Bloom podcast with me, Leanna. I've decided I'm starting a podcast, and I'm starting it from the ground up, and I'm sharing my experiences all the way through with everything I'm doing, because I've thought about this for a while, and those limiting beliefs come up about, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. I couldn't do that. How am I going to do this? Doesn't matter how, we're just going to do it anyways, because I just feel like sharing some messages with people, and I know that they're going to resonate with the people who are meant to find them. So if you find something that you like, click on the link, check out my YouTube has my videos that I'm putting in my podcast. I'm sharing them on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I'm learning how to do it as I go. And I chose to do it this way because there's other people I know too in life that want to do something, or they don't know how to start, or they're feeling nervous. And I always say to people, go do the thing, do the hard thing. Like, just trust that all these barriers or obstacles that are coming up in your life are things that you can overcome. And so I'm just starting to practice what I preach, and I'm putting myself out there, and perhaps it'll inspire someone else to put themselves out there too. And this is the way that we create change, is by actually taking those actions, even when they seem scary. So, like I've said before too, when I'm here, I'm going to talk about all sorts of different topics. We're going to talk about different life topics. We're going to talk about hobbies. We're going to talk about things from sound bowls to meditation, to breathing exercises, to being out in nature, gardening, flowers. We're going to talk about rocks, because we're loving our inner child, and my inner child loves rocks. So we're going to talk about all sorts of things. If there's a topic you like, search it up. If there's one that you don't like, just skip that one. That's cool. And part of why I say that too is because right here, I have these little oracle cards, and I just pulled one before I started making this video, and it was the moon card that came up. And I just want to read this to you. It says, escape from the black cloud that surrounds you. Then you will see your own light as radiant as the full moon. And I can take this to mean so many different things among so many paths. We just had a full moon, and it's really about, all these shadow parts of ourselves we talk about, or the unhealed parts of us, our wounded inner child, those kinds of things. And I could go on so many different side quests with this and tell so many stories, but really I guess for today's message, what I want to talk about is, there's a lot of dark clouds in the world seemingly right now. Prices are going up, and people are going on strike from their jobs, and everything's getting really expensive, and people are feeling, disconnected, or we all, not all of us, but okay, we're back again too. Building a podcast video. I'm filming this a certain way. I talk too much. Videos cut off. We're going to learn as we go. So any advice, let me know. But I was talking about how people sometimes, our lives are so busy, and we rush in the morning to get the kids off to school, and then we rush to our jobs, and we work all day, and we rush to go pick them up and come home and change quick and go to this extracurricular and that extracurricular, and then we come home and we rush and have supper, and we just rush, and we're go, and we're busy and faster and more and better, and let's just slow that down for a minute. I really, really, really don't think that we are biologically meant to live this way. Actually, I know that. I don't think that. I just know that. And it's, when you can escape from these black clouds of your surroundings and really kind of slow down and see what your values are, and maybe you have big goals or dreams about what you want to do in the future, or how you want your life to look like. But maybe you're not sure how to get there because of those ideas of, I got to have this job because this is stable, or I really wish I could do this thing, but I don't have the time for it, or whatever it is. So when we can pause and really look at those self-limiting beliefs that we're imposing upon ourselves, instead of thinking like, if only that would work for me, or if only I could afford to do that. If that is something you're passionate about, if there's a will, there is a way. There is. And there are going to be barriers and challenges, but it's not, I want you to try to view it from the perception or the lens of opportunity and growth, or seeing what you are, maybe habits or whatever things you're holding on or doing in your own life that you can let go of to make space or opportunity or room to really take action and step for that thing that you want to do in your life. And just think too, like, you don't have to, maybe you have this grand idea and it's overwhelming. Because if you're like me, we're going to talk a lot about ADHD, squirrel brain, going off on side quests. Okay, but it's when you learn how to work with your brain like that, when you realize that your brain is neurotypical and it doesn't work the same way as other people's brains. We're talking neurotypical, neurospicy, neurodivergent, all these kinds of wordings that you hear. But when you can try to stop forcing yourself to fit in this box of other people and realize this is it. I love this quote. I've heard a few times, and I like to quote Elise Myers a lot too, because she's helped me so much. Check out her videos. Maybe you already have. If you're following me, you probably already do watch her. Elise, thank you. But it's that idea of, if I'm too much, that's okay. Go find less. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be authentically me. And so with that being said too, I always encourage other people to be authentically themselves. Do what you love. Don't worry about what other people are going to say. And that is hard to do. It is hard to do because of the way that we have been, programmed or designed, or the way we've lived our lives, or, basing what we do on other people's values. And so for me, starting this whole thing is really just to throw my authenticity out there, and I'm just going to be me and talk about the things that I'm passionate about. And I know that I will find the right people, and I know there will also be the wrong people. And I don't want to say wrong people as in like, oh, that's the wrong people, but we're not all meant to vibe and get along. Well, actually, I do think we should all get along all the time. That would be great. But, you know what I mean? We're going to have differences, and we'll have different opinions, and someone will feel really fiery about this, and someone will feel spicy about this thing. And if these two people don't align, that's okay. Just scroll on. You'll find your people over there somewhere, and you'll find your people over here somewhere, and that's great. But we're not going to find each other by not showing our authentic selves. And so I think that's the best way to find your community, your people, your true soul tribe family, people that are going to help lift you up and encourage you. And there are people out there that will help you to grow and want to help you achieve your goals and succeed. But you're not going to find them sitting on your couch and just hoping they'll find you. You got to put yourself out there, which is why I'm putting myself out here. So, like I've said before, if there's something you want to hear me talk about or you have questions about, I will share my knowledge or my opinions about things. Use your discretion, take what resonates, leave what does not, and let's just share our authentic selves, and we will help each other to find community, whether it be through this podcast I'm doing with certain topics, or if you follow along and there's I have lots of different types of categories of videos that I'm making on my YouTube. So just if you find something that resonates, check it out. And if there's stuff that you don't like, skip it by. We're not going to entertain any kind of negativity, because that is for the Most High to deal with. Our job is just to show up authentically as ourselves and trust in God that the universe has a plan for us. And even when things don't make sense at the time, hindsight's 20/20. Everything is always working out in your favor. So here we are. This is the Barefoot and Bloom podcast with Leanna, starting from the roots, blooming together.